idea, can I get a show of hands, how many are either involved in a fintech or cybertech company or advise them in some capacity? Okay, I'm looking at maybe half. We'll go with half the room in that capacity. So Omri, tell us who you are.
Well, hi everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Omri Wislitsky and I manage the Australian landing pad in Tel Aviv. I joined Allstraight exactly a year and 2 weeks ago to start this project here in Israel. I previously worked for LG, the Korean company in Israel, doing tech scouting, and also in a startup here in Israel. And I'm now full-on Aussie. Fully engaged with the ecosystem, the culture, the politics, mostly the good things, and I'm happy to assist anyone who's interested to get the most out of being in Israel.
So maybe tell us, why should a cybertech or fintech company apply to the Israel calling?
Yeah, well, sure. I think that cyber is easy. I mean, most people already know that Israel is probably the world leader in cybersecurity. Just yesterday here at the landing pad, we had a talk with Gil Schwade, the CEO and founder of Checkpoint, and the guy who invented the firewall, and how he saw in '93 this opportunity called the World Wide Web, and how he took the knowledge and experience he had in the army to invent the firewall and create what is today a $1.7 billion annual income company and a world leader in cybersecurity for organizations and a bit for the private consumer sector. Last week, the Wall Street Journal chose its most promising 25 startups in the world. 4 out of those 25 startups are cyber startups, and 3 out of the 4 are Israeli startups. So ongoing every year, again and again, with more and more cyber threats happening to affect not only our software, but actually our physical lives, our homes, our future smart cars. The role of cyber is becoming so much more important, and the knowledge and experience that Israel has as a country and in the private sector is it's proven itself to be really a world leader, whether it's in investments that come in, whether it's in creating big sales and big companies, global companies from Israel. And cyber really is the easy part. Fintech, I think, is something fairly new to all of us in a way. Only in the recent 3, 4, 5 years has it really become a very big issue, and everyone getting involved in it. Again, is Israel having the right knowledge and experience from a tech point of view and creating really strong technologies. We have a very strong fintech community here, which is a combination of very strong and successful entrepreneurs. You might have heard of a company named, for example, Payoneer, which works with Amazon and Airbnb, or companies like Billguard, who were sold to IBM for close to $1 billion just 2 years ago. We have all the multinational R&D centers here: Citibank, Barclays Bank, JP Morgan that are now opening one. Visa and MasterCard have an ongoing full organization here working on innovation and R&D in Israel, and many other banks and financial institutions that are doing their fintech innovation scouting and work in Israel. So it's really a global hub of fintech, not a local hub, and the government that is very supportive in doing that. So a lot of knowledge and experience here, and a good place to connect to the global fintech innovation.
Awesome. And so how many Australian companies have been through the landing pad since it's open? And when did it open?
Yeah, so we're open for I guess a year and 1 month. We've had 12 companies going through our program. We had, let's say, 2.5 cyber companies and about 8 fintech companies. Some were part of the New South Wales Fintech and Cyber Delegation last year, and some came in the full capacity to be here for the full 3 months. We've had an amazing cyber company from Nusa, who people would never believe us that we can have a cyber company from Nusa. Australians were shocked from that, but to explain to an Israeli what having a cyber company from Nusa means is really hard. But this guy came in and he won the country over. He won a cyber competition here. He signed an agreement with Checkpoint, so he's fully integrated now his product with the Checkpoint products. And in fintech, like I think Jeremy Little is in the room, and all of you maybe know some of the other participants from last year who had an incredible 10-day here program in Israel. It really helped them connect to the global fintech innovation here and learn a lot about that innovation side of things.
And what do you think they actually get? What have you seen change in them, like from when they first arrive, and in their attitudes or the ways they operate by being a language?
Yeah, it's a really, really good question. It's sometimes very, very hard to quantify things when you work with startups, and the landing pad at Tel Aviv is definitely different than the ones around the world, which are really for Australian startups that are market ready and want to scale. Israel is not a market where you come and sell your product to, but it is a place to come and learn and experience and connect. The things that we see that people get the most out of are, one, a good product validation, two, the business model validation, three, the connection to the global network of innovators and developing a network for yourself with really the leading people in the world who can help you take your startup to the next level. And all that leads to kind of like a funnel of how do you take your startup to a global level? How you, someone who's stuck on an island at the end of the world there in Australia, can start your startup but become a really global success. And that really connects to the mindset and culture of things, of how you build a company, how you deal with risk taking, how you take more risks, the mindset you need to be in, the attitude you need to have, and those are things you can always learn from being in Israel.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more question, then maybe see if anyone else has a question about being a startup in Israel or whatever. But the question I have is, can you get Vegemite at the landing pad?
Well, Jono, you left a tube here. To be honest, it's still completely full. I'm thinking about giving it to someone here as a test to see what they say. So I'll let you know.
Okay.
But we have really, really extremely good food in Tel Aviv, and the whole, I think, cultural experience and the fact that you get to leave your comfort zone in Australia, and that's a very big, good comfort zone. I call it, the Australian cushion. Coming to the Middle East, where people smoke in your face, when you meet Israeli investors who are very, very, very direct and honest, and will tell you exactly what you want to hear or what you never wanted to hear about your company and about your product, and really get to engage with people that think differently from you, act differently, and are very, very intense in big dreamers is something that's really good. A good experience to take back home to Australia.
Okay, I'm going to throw it open to the room. I don't think this mic is working, so you just have to project. So you have to speak like an Israeli. Is there anything anyone has, maybe a comment even about if they've been to Israel, about the difference in work there or here, or any questions you would have about what you would experience there that would be different here? Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay, just project nice and loud. Omri, just make sure you can hear.
Hi, I'm Alexander. I'm just curious, you mentioned the company from Nusa that has integrated their product as a checkpoint product, right? Now, what is the success rate of these drug companies? How many of them? Obviously, that may not be the main purpose of this, maybe just to gain more skills, knowledge, network, not only in Israel, but Israel is a springboard for the rest of the world. In a high-tech environment in general. But how many of these had some success stories like Checkpoint out of this 2, 3, 5, none?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Like I said, I think sometimes it's very, very hard to quantify or put in numbers on success of startups when you're in a 3-month program, or even if you were in a 2-year program. Startups are a very, very long run. Most startups take 3 to even 7 years to get to some really good commercial outcome and big success. And I think that from our point of view, yes, integrating with Checkpoint, that's a success for an Australian startup. But also getting your product validated and your business model validated is a huge success for some of the other startups who went through the program. Another one of the startups, for example, opened a local R&D center and hired people. That's another success story for that startup. I think it's very, very subjective to each startup, depending on the stage they are, the sector they are, and what they want to achieve. And if we're able to take a startup and in 2 weeks or 3 months help them, climb one more stage in the startup ladder towards success, I think that is a success for us.
Awesome. Another question? Yes.
I'll move closer so you can hear me.
What's up, Omri?
Hey, Dan Ben.
Hey, dude. Nice beard. I love it. Question: is there anything that Israelis can learn from Australian startups?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I get a lot of questions about the differences between the ecosystems, and I really think it's all about the culture and the mindset. I don't think that Israelis are better entrepreneurs than Australians or Americans or vice versa. It's all the mindset, the culture, and how you see things. I think that the Australians are highly intelligent. I think that Australians have a lot of good experience in working in very big organizations and in management and in long-term strategy and big strategies. And those are things that Israelis can definitely learn from Australians.
Okay. Well, Omri, we'd love to stay and chat, but you've got the whole day ahead of you, and we're getting tired. Maybe we've got more beers to drink. I should get in front.
Yeah.
So you say. So, on behalf of all of us here, thank you for spending the time in your day, and hopefully some companies from the North Shore of Sydney will make it through the Israel calling program, and see you in person.
Thank you. You're all invited. It's a free trip to Israel, and really can help your startup. And good luck, everyone. And thank you. Thank you, Juno. Thank you, Dan. Enjoy the rest of the event. Bye-bye.
Okay.